check it out, a real Schwinn. But really, what is a real Schwinn? Because modern Schwinns, well, I don't call them fake Schwinns, I just call them modern. But this is not modern. It's quite old. Back to the late 70s. This is a Suburban. There used to be an N there and the rest of the letters that spelled out Suburban. Just take a look at this thing. Definitely a classic Schwinn for sure. I'm pretty certain this is a USA made Schwinn. It says Chicago down there, not Madison like the modern Schwinns. So this would be, for all practical purposes, the real deal as far as vintage classic Schwinns go. A buddy purchased this at a yard sale for, get this, $40 or $50 or $60. He can't remember exactly what he paid, but he picked it up because he thought it looked cool. Thought it might turn into a good bike, so I thought this would be our opportunity to go back in time, back before we had our modern Schwinns, and see what they looked like, see how they stack up. So let's start at the top here. These definitely have a sweep to them. I mean, just look at this profile. If you like sweeping bars, these are going to get it done for you. Almost Batman bars. They don't have a point here. They definitely sweep back. Also a lot wider than I remember vintage cruiser bars being. And at one time, looks like they were chrome. Look at that little bitty stem. This is a quill stem going through the headset here, that slim headset. But I don't want to drop down too fast because we still have bar stuff to talk about, like these grips, comfort grips for, well, I guess back in the day, comfort grips. Remember when everything used to have the finger grooves? And look at this, Schwinn branding, and it says Schwinn approved. I don't know if you can make that out. But Schwinn approved grips, and after all these years, I'm assuming these are the factory grips, they still feel pretty good. And if you look here, you can see they're kind of cushiony. There's a little dirt dauber nest there, but they had a cushion built into these. Oh look, telltale signs that somebody spray painted this. So you can see it definitely was chrome. And then someone tried to spray paint it silver at some point. The bars used to be chrome, but look at that. Padding makes for soft grips. No wonder they Schwinn approved them, because these feel good even after all these years. The brake levers below them, alloy, still a decently smooth. They could use a little bit of lubrication, but they don't feel rough. These housings still feel good even though they have a little bit of overspray on them. But look right here, that says Diacompi or Diacomp. I looked it up and that was a Japanese brand. So even back in the day, when Schwinn was USA, they still used components from other parts of the world. So even back in the 70s, this Japanese brake set, wow, that one feels a lot better than, well, not too much better, but just a little smoother, a quicker bite. Of course, that's the front brakes. See the brake pads there, obviously over the years, those have been replaced on these Diacompi, however you say it, Japanese brakes. And look at this, back up top, about a reflector. This thing's huge. That is a gargantuan reflector, definitely a ride it on the street bike. So they wanted you to be seen back in the 70s, and well, that's as close to a headlight as you're gonna get in a reflector. Yeah, not too bad so far, right? Those sweeping bars, the Diacompi, Diacomp, Schwinn approved, the very aggressive quill stem biting on there. Look at that little bolt up at the top, pretty funny to see that. But look at this. I teased a picture of this, and I asked what bike you thought it was, and some people got the exact model for this bike just based on a picture that looked about like that. They saw the fork, we'll talk about it in just a second, but this is a positron shifter. Now I'm told back in the older days, these had a nickname and I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't very flattering because you have to reach off of the bars to shift the bike and then reach back. So obviously not the safest of ideas, but look at this positron. Well, if I didn't just knock it out of adjustment, it was smooth earlier, I'll say that. But this is the positron shifter, and apparently an easy identifier for some people. So let's move down a little further. This thin but long head tube, you know, kind of classic looking stuff with the metal Schwinn badge, again, Chicago. Freeze frame. I'm going to stop here and edit this in very late because while I was scrubbing through all this content, I noticed something on this head tube badge. Also noticed while I was looking over the bike, a peculiar lack of a serial number that I could find, but I did find these numbers on this head tube badge. And it turns out, at least based on internet research, that this 0878 means this bike was manufactured in August of 1978. which backs up what I already knew. I knew this was either a 77 or a 78 Schwinn Suburban. It turns out it's a 1978. Also, further details, this was offered in 2 options with a 5-speed or a 10-speed drivetrain. We'll find out which of those it has in just a moment. Now back to where I was. Thought that was riveted on, but it's actually little screws. So we have our quill stem going down through that. The brakes we just talked about, the Diacompi brakes. And look at this fork. Stuff like this you just don't see anymore. The fancy accents. Pretty good. And even the graphics, well, they just kind of tie in and fit with that for this sweeping fork, those old forward sweeping forks. Look at that little mount down there. And then, of course, the fender mounts through there with some pinstriping on it. And look how far down that fender wraps. I thought that might be for a front rack or something, but there was an aluminum support that went there and bolted on it. It's just not there anymore after all these years. There is the bolt, however, for the bolt-on wheel. Look at that tiny, tiny front hub. Petite. Clearly spray painted, but it does still look good, even with the paint on these thin, thin rims for these tiny, tiny tires that he has to buy new ones of. As you can see, well, these old but very thin, they're in need of replacement. And these are Carlisle, what's that say? Carlisle Super Ride. Carlisle Super Ride tires on these rims, and these tires 27 by 1 1/4 per the sidewall. And there's also something else on this sidewall. Fitz T and RASS 6 rim, or well, something like that. That's the rim, the tires, the hub, the fork, the handlebars. We have a drivetrain to look at, and we know that's going to be special because it has that positron shifter. Look at that bottom bracket, and we'll see 1 gear here, and wow, look at that. Look at the guard for this. Huge, and I don't know how many teeth this is. I'll see if I can count them, or maybe look it up and find out. But it says something system. I can't quite make it out because it's been painted over, but I do see Japan. Do you see that? So this too, a Japan component. I don't know how well you can see it, but it definitely says Japan, so that makes me think maybe the positron is Japanese, because we're going to see back here, there's gears and there's a derailleur, but look at this crank arm first. Kind of an old round vintage crank arm. These are probably the factory pedals, and man, all these years, and they're still spinning pretty free, and they still have their reflectors on them. A little bit of wobble there, but man, just, you know, this old stuff just lasts so well. But let's move back, follow the chain to the derailleur. I don't know what brand this derailleur is. I can't quite make it out. Oh, it's positron. So that is a positron derailleur. I see Shimano there. You see that? Right in this area. Pretty sure that says Shimano. But a bolt-on rear wheel, a positron derailleur, shifting through the rear 5 speeds. There's 5 whole gears right there. So this is a 5-speed positron all the way down to the back. And look at this dork disc. That is a metal dork disc. I'm guessing, well, maybe if I can find a magnet, I'll find out if this is steel or aluminum. I'm suspecting it is aluminum because I don't see, well, I do see a little bit of rust. So that's steel because there's a little bit of surface rust there. That's, well, dork disc like you don't see these days. Now we get clear plastic that flops around after about a mile. Pretty impressive drivetrain on this old classic Schwinn. Like the front, this has a rear fender with the pinstripe. It wraps way back. And look at that. Another large reflector. They definitely wanted to be seen back in the day. And that's a pretty visible reflector. And here's the seat. Still has what I'm assuming some of the factory paint, the S markings, but it's a white and red saddle. But red, a bit of a contrast with this because I don't know how well it shows up on screen. This kind of a copper look, a dark, deep copper, or whatever color you want to call it. Looks pretty good, and I see maybe a little metallic flake in it, maybe? Yeah, I think there was some just tiny, tiny metal flake in this. But here's the brand for this saddle. You can see kind of that classic comfort saddle. Still squishy on the spring, a little firm though. After all these years. Look at that, a factory rivet still holding up. Here's the back side of the dork disc and then that rear hub. It's as tiny as the front for these bolt-on wheels. Let's move here and look at this bottom bracket. Well, actually, not the bottom bracket. Let me see if I can spin this tire around, because let's look at that kickstand. not only is this super long, I don't know how well this shows up, but that's, well, a good kickstand and a half by modern standards. But look at that. It kind of comes out at an angle, which is nice. It's more out of the way. And at first I thought this might just be tilted, but look how it conforms back here. So I'm pretty sure that's a factory kickstand mount in that orientation. Turns out there might be something to this angle. This is pretty secure. Using the only thing we could find this big magnet. Let's see. Yep, that's a steel frame. Obviously steel bars, steel crank arms, steel kickstand, steel fenders, steel spokes. Even this fender support is steel. I gotta say, you know, amazingly not much rust on a steel frame after all of these years. Just look at this frame. The round tubes, you can see the straps here. Do those straps say something? What do they say? They'll say Shimano for these straps holding the cable housings on. So that's interesting. So I guess maybe Shimano maybe owns Positron, or Positron is a model of Shimano. What's that say? Pre-select? Okay, that says pre-select. Looks like we have another symbol there. I think that's the Positron logo. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff on this bike. And just look at this frame. The old classic, I mean, that vertical, and then these round tubes. Pretty sure all of these are the same diameter, top and bottom. It's a good look. It's a tall bike. I don't know about sized frames or anything like that back in the day, but I know this is a tall bike. Very nice bike, a classic bike, a classic Schwinn. So what do you think? Is this pretty cool or not? Is this what you would consider a real Schwinn and the modern bikes? I know some people don't think modern Schwinns are a Schwinn. I believe they are, but I wanted to give you a look at this bike. I saw it hanging up and I thought, how have I missed this? And apparently he bought it not too long ago. But there you go. Look at an old vintage classic Schwinn. What do you think? Comment below.